Ron, and in case you hear, Saturday is closing day at beautiful Gulfstream Park. Mandatory payouts on Florida Sire Stakes Day. We've got the late pick 5 and the Rainbow 6, and we're going to show you our tickets in just a couple of moments. It is going to be a fun day on Saturday.
Yes, it will. 13 races on Saturday. First post time is at 12 p.m. 8 stakes races, and as Ron said, we're wrapping up the meet here at Gulfstream Park, so everything must go.
Well, we'll take a look at the Rainbow 6 ticket first because that starts in race number 8. I'm going to use 3 horses in here. The 4 keep your distance. Going to wear blinkers today. The rallying to finish pretty good. Third last time out. This one is a daughter of Tappet. Should be able to handle an extra furlong. I used the 5 Our Way to Escape and the 11 Sip My Chardonnay. What a great name. And this one is a $90,000 daughter, a freshman sire, Bodie Meyer, debuting for Ralph Nix. Really solid workout. So I had to go 3 deep in there. As we always say, don't want to get knocked out in the first leg.
Absolutely, especially when it's mandatory payout, right?
Yeah, now let's get the late pick 5 and my Rainbow 6 tickets as we go along here so we can get both done real quick.
Sure. So next is race number 9, and that's where the late pick 5 starts. Races 9 through 13. And we'll give you a look at my tickets. We can go race by race and talk about the horses that we used. Here in the first leg, I used 3 horses. As you said, don't want to get knocked out. My single came in race number 12 with 3 rules. But to start it off, I used the 2 Marco Mischief, the 5 Dynamic Dancer, who's taking blinkers off for trainer Patrick Biancone, and the number 9 Southern Sea, who really looks like he's going to be the speed in here, this 2-year-old by Cantharos, and really solid performance last time out, beaten just by 3/4 of a length on the turf, and I think he's going to be the one to catch.
Well, we're sort of in agreement there. The other horse that I used that different from the, I used both the 5 and 9 was the 3 Canto Monar, and this one is the son of Tisway Sire. That's pretty good. He's 7 for 50, 14% with first out turf runners debuting for Antonio Santos. So we differ a little bit in that first leg, but we got 2 of the 3 right.
All right, 2 of the 3. That's a start anyway.
Okay. Race number 10, 1 mile and 1/16 for 2-year-old fillies. This is our co-feature event of the afternoon, the $500,000 My Dear Girl. And the big news, Cajun Delta Dawn getting post 13. How'd you handle it?
Well, I think that she's one you have to use on your multi-race wagering tickets. I certainly used her in here. I actually went 4 deep, though. I used Cajun Delta Dawn. I am going to try and beat her later on. I just think with the draw, it's going to be really tough. The number 2, Sweet Tooth Haven, looks like one that's really going to bounce back. Had that wet track last time out behind Cajun Delta Dawn, the Florida Sire Stakes, but won her debut so impressively for Stanley Gold. I also used the 6 Dude Fantasy, and the other David Fox runner is the number 6 Surprise Wedding, and I think that she's going to be a really interesting one in here.
Well, I went with the number 2 Sweet Tooth Haven right on top of my ticket because of the concerns of Cajun Delta Dawn. If you're not aware, post 13 here, we got a short run to the first turn, a mile and a 16th, and we also used the first finish line. So going to be up against it, boy, but she's done nothing wrong yet, and I would not be surprised if she can overcome that and run very well. The other horse I used was the 8 Stormy Embrace, stretching out around 2 turns. She rallied. She finished second to Cajun Delta Dawn in the Susan's Girl, so maybe this one sits the trip behind the speed and gets it done. So Sweet Tooth Haven is the one I'm going to put on top.
Same with me.
Race number 11 is a 1 mile on the turf. It's the Panama City, and boy, this race is wide open, and I wish I could have went 7 deep in here, but I didn't want to make my ticket over $64.80, and I love a horse in here, and this is sort of a horse for course for me, and that's Daring Kathy, turning back to her most accomplished distance. She's had 8 races at this distance with 4 wins. She stalked the pace. She finished 5th, beaten only 1 1/4 lengths as the favorite. That was in the mile and the 16th. Wasted Tears. Love her turning back. Love this horse. Hard-knocking campaigner. Loves this track. But you got Pink Poppy and you got Susie B in there who's going to close on the pace. How'd you see that race?
Well, I used all 3 of those horses. I actually went 5 deep in this one. I think Daring Kathy is one that you can't leave out. She ran so solidly against the boys, as you mentioned. Beaten as the odds-on favorite last time behind a couple other runners in this field, but maybe she just bounced out after the Soaring Softly effort. She's such a consistent runner, an 8-time winner in here. I also used the number 4, Joe's Did Zanimo, with a little bit of a tongue twister over there with that one. But this horse really intrigues me. Coming back over to Gulfstream Park, 3 for 4 at the Gulfstream Park turf. This one ran in the Florida Sire Stakes last year and ran very solidly here at Gulfstream. So interesting to see how she does coming back to South Florida.
And you had to use Pink Pop. He was cutting back to a mile today, duel from start to finish. It was really game holding on to win the Wasted Tears. So a horse that you got to have. And it's smart that you went 5 deep in there. As I mentioned, I wish I could have gone 6 deep in this particular race. It's that wide open. Now, race number 12 is our co-feature event of the afternoon. 1 mile and 116. 2-year-old Colson Geldings, Florida Sire Stakes nominated. Of course, it's the $500,000. In reality, everybody in America is going to be singling, at least I think, number 2, 3 rules.
Well, I know we both did, and he's certainly the one to be in here. 4 for 4 so far, has won every race by open lengths. And, you know, you can argue maybe when he was out front and maybe he got a little leg weary. I guess there's some questions about him. Is he going to be able to back up that performance with the 2 turns? I think he gets the distance. I think, honestly, every race has just been so easy for him so far.
And, you know, Jose Pinchin, the trainer, was quoted saying this horse is a 2-turn horse. He doesn't seem to have a problem with it. And the only horse I see that might give him a challenge is also trained by Jose Pinchin, which is the 4 front loaded. But I think here now, if you want to get cute, maybe you go a little deeper in here. And if you can beat 3 rules, you're going to go home with a lot of change in your pocket.
Absolutely.
And as always, at beautiful Gulfstream Park, the final race of the summer is never an easy one. This one, 7.5 furlongs on the turf, maiden special weight, 2-year-old fillies, a full field in here. And I used the 3 Bella Vincenzo, who's ready to shed the maiden tag, I believe, after responding to the addition of blinkers with a 2nd place finish. Stanley Gold, Lucky Panici. I think this is the logical one, but I went 4 deep in this race.
Well, in order to keep mine a little bit more affordable, because I went so deep in race number 11, I just went 2 deep in this last one. I used the 3 Bella Vincenza as well, I think, off of that performance last time. It was on the rail at the steady a little bit last time out, just beating about 2 lengths, gets Luca Panici up today. I also used the 5 Aquamene, who I thought ran pretty solidly in her debut, was only beaten by a length and a quarter behind a nice runner named Philly Mignon.
Well, let's a quick look how we see the Rainbow 6 and the late pick 5. And good luck with all your selections. Remember to come out and join us here tomorrow, first race post, 12 p.m. It is going to be one fun day and a chance to make some big bucks.
Yes, don't forget, everything must go. We'll see you tomorrow.